All right. I'm gonna go ahead and peel this off. This has been sitting actually for a couple of days. I know I said it was yesterday, but I was trying to do the secret of magic, your TV magic there. All right, so I've got my opening here that we talked about. All right, that looks good. It's pretty firm, okay, but it's still leather hard, which means I can still attach stuff to it, which is good. That's the main thing that we wanted. All right, put it up here on this, and that way I can spin it around a little bit easier. Okay, over here I didn't cut that nice and straight, so it's a little bit of an angle or a little bit of rounded design. I can very easily just kind of cut that straight, so that way when I put this piece on, it's going to go on much easier. Okay, dry fit it so you can see how it's going to go on. Okay, and I'm not quite sure how I'm going to finish that over there. All right, but what I did is I pressed this into the edge there, and I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but there's a little bit of a line created by that edge so that I know to cut it about like that. So that way when I place this here, okay, it should fit in just like so. Okay, so now what I do with this over here, okay, on top of this part, I don't know. I'm gonna just kind of listen to the clay, let the clay kind of speak to me, see what it wants to do. Okay, but first and foremost, I gotta score, slip, and smooth that first smooth coil in onto here. And I think this is gonna kind of come over a little bit more dramatically this way. Okay, so that way it's gonna get a little bit smaller and maybe kind of go off in that direction. All right, now you can go ahead and score and slip all of the area on top that's going to be the new stuff, okay, where you're gonna add the new stuff. This being as leather hard as it is, okay, that's fine, all right, because this is going to help kind of soften that up. Just means that the wetter clay that you're going to be adding, the new stuff, that's going to soak in, and that should be nice and wet to accept the clay when we get to that point. All right, got to score and slip our that guy there. Oops, wrong way. Okay, so that's going to go in there like that. All right, and now because I've got this kind of going at an angle, I'm gonna have to cut that a little bit better to fit that way. Okay, and there we go. Now what's nice is that because this has dried out a little bit, this tube here that I've added is a little bit softer, or excuse me, it's a little bit more firm, and it's gonna hold its shape a little bit better. All right, so then we're gonna go ahead and pinch to make that meet up a little bit better. All right, now the other thing is I'm looking at this and I'm not really happy with the way that this is kind of going on, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut a little bit more of this out. So that's gonna give me a little bit more drama, a little bit more exposure of this opening so people can see that that's a opening there, all right? But it also means that I have to smooth this part in, okay, to make it kind of match up a little bit better. I'm not sure exactly how to do that, but we're gonna work on it. Let the clay kind of speak to me, see what it wants to do, okay? And then also you can see how this kind of comes around and then it kind of goes to a sharp angle. I'm gonna try and smooth that in as best I can, and if I need to, I can go ahead and just take a little smidge of clay and maybe lay a coil down in there to fill in this little gap so that that area is nice and smooth. Okay, remember, we don't want any really harsh lines on the outside of that. Because if we do have those harsh lines, what'll end up happening is it'll not look realistic. It won't look, organic, and that is the whole key to this. So let's go ahead and score and slip, and then smooth this in. But make sure we get a good connection there, good connection here. That transition between this opening and the smooth coil that we just attached, and then I got a little spot here that I need to just kind of fill in, so I'm just going to pinch that a little bit. All right, so for you guys watching in the video there, you can see it that way. And it's all about the transitions, okay? Like I said, one of my favorite ceramics professors at Cal State Fullerton, okay, Good Titans, that was his big thing. Make sure your transitions are nice and smooth. Make sure everything where you're attaching stuff, people can't tell how it was connected, and that's the key, okay? You want to be the magician. You want to be the guy that, or the girl that, you know, the person that makes it so that you can't tell how it was connected. And if you can do that, okay, people are going to be interested in it and they're going to be amazed by it. Okay, or at least that's the idea. All right, so that's in there. Okay, again, I still have this little kind of weird spot. I'm going to go ahead and score and slip this side here because I can. Okay, and then use that same technique that we used for the pinch pots to fill in that little gap. Okay, and so that way I can then go ahead and smooth that in there. And as I'm looking at it, I might need to add a little bit more, and if that's the case, fine. If not, you know, if we're good, then I'm good. Okay, and I'm going to come in with my little rib here. All right, smoothing it now, smoothing it as you go. This will save you so much time later on, trust me. Okay, but actually I'm kind of digging this little curve there. We'll go ahead and curve and smooth that in a little bit more. And your fingertips are going to be one of your best friends as far as like tools go. You know, I don't mind using a rib. This also, you know, makes things very smooth, and it's stuff that I can't do with my fingers, okay, because it's going to give me those nice, beautiful curves that we like, okay? But your fingertips and the sides of your fingers, they're also going to help things smooth out, especially when you're trying to get around a sharp corner like in this area here. Okay, I can't do that with the blue rib because it's too sharp. All right, almost there. Kind of work on this a little bit. Even when it's leather hard, I can still smooth that in a little bit. I can still shape that a little bit, depending on what it wants to do. I'm gonna go ahead and smooth the inside while I got a chance. Okay, and I'm gonna go ahead and add the next one and start building it kind of out like that. I think is the way I'm gonna go with this one. But I'm not gonna bore you with that. I'm just gonna go ahead and start building it. And that's the way I want you guys to kind of work, is to start just kind of let it happen. Okay, this is starting to go this way, so let's just go this way. Or if it's starting to go that way, extend it out. You know, and I'm looking at here, where this is kind of going here, and I score and slipped the next one to come on there. I think I'm gonna cut this out a little bit more and make that opening a little bigger. Why not? Okay, somebody say that I couldn't do it? No. Somebody say that that was the right way or the wrong way? No, it's just kind of what I felt like doing. You know, and just kind of play around with it, go with it, all right? The biggest thing I can probably tell you as far as, you know, when you're getting ready to add the next piece or you're getting ready to shape it a little bit more, is if it's starting to curve one way, exaggerate that curve, exaggerate that cutout, make it a little bit more dramatic, and that's going to give you something that's going to be a little bit more interesting. All right, so I'm going to time lapse the next couple steps here, which is basically just continuing to build this, and then we'll go on to how to start smoothing it and finishing it once this starts to get a little bit more dry. All right, but that'll be in the next one.